Guys, it's Darlene and welcome to my channel. Alright, so today's video is the Alaskan excursions. So I got back from a cruise about a month ago to Alaska and we hit 5 ports. So I'm going to tell you about them and my thoughts on the excursions that we did. Let's go ahead and jump in. First and foremost, if you're already subscribed to my channel, I want to say thank you so very much. If you are not yet subscribed, do that thing. Subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, that way you won't miss out on any videos. All right, so we went to Alaska and we hit 5 ports. So I'm going to talk about each one of them, the excursions that we pre-booked. Did we pre-book the excursions? How were the excursions? Would I do them again? And so on. Our first place that we went, the first port was SITKA. This is the only port that we did not have an excursion planned. So we were just gonna play it by ear, and I'm glad that we did that because it rained and rained and rained. So what we did was just walked from the port where we docked to the Tongass National Forest, which has the totem poles. It's beautiful. They're beautiful. It's beautiful to walk. It sucks it was raining because it's one of those rains where it's just drizzling and cold and Alaska, right? But every other day we have beautiful, beautiful weather. But so I'm just gonna insert pictures here. We did go to a restaurant and I apologize because I don't know the name of it. We hit a couple little shops then, grabbed a little something to eat. I would say definitely do that hike. You could go as far as you want, as long as you want. I hope you have a nicer weather than we did, but even if you don't, it's really a beautiful way to see Alaska and to see SITKA. Next port was JUNEAU. This one we pre-booked. It was the most expensive one, and it was the one that I was the most excited about. It was a helicopter ride to the top of a glacier and then dog sledding. Mushing. Very, very excited. The weather was nice. It wasn't raining, but the visibility was not good enough to fly. We did not find out until 2 minutes before we're in line. We're ready to go. Devastated. Devastated. A couple people in our party wanted to go on whale watching. I'm like, sure, whatever. I'm not super excited about that, and let me explain why. And this, I would definitely not recommend it. Here's why. You want to go whale watching, you don't need to go to Alaska. Come to New England. You will see whales closer up without all of the giant ships and boats, and I mean, it's too much. And the closest we got was this right here. So I was just like, oh man, and you pay way more than you do if you go to Gloucester, if you go to Rhode Island, Connecticut, you can find whales. Did have, after the excursion, we had something else planned, which was to go to the Red Dog Saloon because they are famous for what is called the duck fart. Yes, you heard me right, duck fart.
Some duck farts here. 3 layers, 3 rules. Here at the Red Dog we say no sipping and no stirring and no sharing. Clack, clack, and knock that shit back.
Basically, it's a fart that is Bailey's Kahlua, and then every single place has some whatever they want to do, whether it be a little bit of Jameson, whether it be some type of whiskey, bourbon, you name it, they float it on top. It goes down quite easily. Some places have really cute sayings, like the Red Dog Saloon. As far as food goes, the people in my party ate. I did not, because there was not anything on that menu that that said Alaska to me and that wasn't fried and high in carbs. And that's just me. And I was okay with that. Then we went to another place right around the corner. They had their own shop. And then they showed me, oh, here's a card and you can go around. So we had like an hour. All right, so we're trying to fill out this card with a bunch of shots. So the next place is the Alaskan Hotel. Let's go.
Orca, like a killer
Orca.
Orca fart, Irish cream, peanut butter whiskey, and cream de cacao. It is the best one.
Orca fart of the Triangle Club. Woo!
Bottoms up.
And it was fun, and each one tasted, some had mint in that. I mean, it was just, they were fun. And we got back to the Tinder, because they drop you off and then you Tinder back. And we had a good time. I'd like to have been in Juneau longer. Juneau was a very short stop. And I also would have loved to have done the excursion. So if you can't afford to do it, and that is something you want to do, I would suggest doing it. It's the only thing that I would go back to do, would be go straight to Juneau, fly into Juneau just to do that tour. That excursion. I was so devastated. Then the next place we went is Skagway. Skagway, we did the White Train Express. Skagway White Train Express, I think it's called. I thought to myself, this is going to be so boring. And I was so wrong. It's really great. It's not super crowded. It's a very nice, we just did the 2.5 hour tour and it was perfect. The scenery is great. What's also nice is that you can leave your seats and go to like right outside the train. Pictures and stuff like that. And so it was really nice. It was relaxing, but interesting and enjoyable. And then after that, we had another tour, which was a walking tour, and it was the Good Time Girls and Ghosts. I didn't know what to expect, but they gave you a glass of champagne and a garter. The boys wanted the garter and the girls wanted champagne, so we're like, cool. It was really interesting to learn about Skagway.
Red onion part. Let this toast first go out to those brave, tenacious women of our past, to the beautiful, inspiring ladies of today, and of course to all of you handsome men, whenever you're willing to pay. Cheers!
Cheers! And it's a history lesson on Skagway and women.
But for us, this is Molly Walsh Monument. She wasn't a typical good time girl, but she was truly a very good girl. She would arrive here in the fall of 1898 and discover what Skagway needed most, just a little bit of community. She would take it upon herself to create connection.
Do this tour. If you are interested in not only how in Skagway right now, the majority of businesses are owned and run by women, but how Skagway, what your choices were, what your options were back then as a woman, and it's interesting, and I enjoyed it. And there was some fun involved in it. Trixie was our guide, and she was great.
And we gotta look all the way to the left and all the way to the right. Streetwalker.
Come on, baby! Woo!
My dears, we got people to advertise to. Let them know what you're working with. Hi, my dears. If you see anything you like, you let us know, okay? I got the best streetwalkers in town. Come on. Hello, honey.
And then what we did, we still had time before we were gonna go to dinner. We had booked reservations at a place in Skagway. But there is another place called the Happy Endings. I would suggest going there. Super fun. They have the polar bear fart. So there is the polar bear fart there. And then they sent us like half a block. Skagway, you guys, Skagway, you could walk up and down the street checking all these things out. Station Bar and Grill. This is the
caribou fart.
caribou fart. And your saying is?
Cheers to staying positive and testing negative.
Woo! Cheers! That was a big one, Morgan! Woo! It's a lot of fun. We had a great time doing it. The restaurant that we went to, here's the thing that the reason that I think that they can get away with certain things is that primarily I would imagine that their revenue is from tourists, okay? And so they don't really care. I'm going to tell you the story. So they had a fish dish. I can't remember. I think it was salmon. I don't know what it was. I can't remember. But if I'm in Alaska, I'm going to have Alaskan fish. But it was with pasta. I didn't want the pasta. Any vegetable. Waiter, can't do it, can't change it. I'm like, I just don't want the pasta. What is the problem? So my husband goes, let me talk to the manager. So I explained nicely, I just want the fish. And if you don't have any I don't care. I don't want nothing. No pasta, no, just vegetable. Any vegetable you have. You don't have a vegetable, you have lettuce. Throw a salad on there, right? Because they had salad. I was extremely frustrated. It comes out. It was delicious. However, there was rice on it. I didn't care because the rice was off to the side, but I'm like, wow, just like, but it took 20 minutes of trying to convince them. I never did. I go to restaurants here and I'm like, they have fried fish. Do you fish? Like, I know when I go to Zena's that they make their fried fish and chips from scratch. So they have cod. So he'll make me a dish with just cod and not fried. It's not hard. And I guess if you don't mind people being crappy to you, then fine. Then we went to KETCHIKAN. This is another one. KETCHIKAN. Wanted to see bears. Okay, KETCHIKAN is famous for Creek Street, which I would recommend. Go to Creek Street, walk around. You might be lucky enough to run into bears. We were in KETCHIKAN for a very, very long time. It was probably the longest or second longest, I don't know. We were in Canada a long time too. And here's the thing. We went on Neat's bear excursion. Do I recommend it? No. Here's the reason why. It's a very long trek. You take a van for 30 minutes. You get on a boat for an hour to this destination.
Okay, walking on the Nets Bay Trail to hopefully go see some bears.
Which is a fish hatchery. This is not how it is worded. And bears did not come. 45 minutes, if a bear comes, yay. If a bear doesn't come, you wait an hour back and 30 minutes. The way they word it is that you're gonna see wildlife when you on your boat ride, and no, you're not, because you're in the middle of the ocean. You're like, you know what I mean, or the bay or whatever. It's Neat's Bay, so it's a bay, but you're not like near the land or anything like that. And it's not a boat that you can go outside. It was so boring and expensive. It was something like $400. Now, my husband said a good thing, and me too. I know you can't guarantee that there's bears, right? I mean, obviously we don't control wildlife. But if that's the case, you should at least refund some of the money. Because to pay $800 to waste like 4 hours. It was 4 hours. And it's like there wasn't any, it just, no, don't do it. Now there was another one that, I'll put the name here. That one was sold out. And that one, when you hike up, and it's just a different, I'm just so disappointed in this one. So disappointed. So I'm not saying don't do bears, just don't do this one. The last one was Victoria, British Columbia. We had a walking tour on this one. It was, let me see if I remember the name of it. Bites and Sights. So it's British Columbia, and it's a walking tour, which is great. I love walking tours. Victoria, British Columbia is very gorgeous. It was a beautiful, sunny, perfect day. You start out and you try a scone and you learn about this history and that history, and you stop and learn about these buildings and that building. You know, it's just history. And then you walk through the park to Fisherman's Wharf, and you take the cutest freaking taxi boat you've ever seen in your life. And Fisherman's Wharf is awesome, and hopping, and we went back, and I'm gonna tell you the tour, and then we went and did our own thing. So then we went and did that, and then that put us in Chinatown, and then we went to a brewery and had some delicious food, and I'm not a beer drinker, so I gave it to my husband. And then we went and walked kind of downtown towards the Empress Hotel, and there's a chocolate place, and again, I don't do chocolate, so my husband just got all the good stuff, and gave him some chocolate. And so it's a really nice walking tour and gives you kind of an idea. Then you can either take a bus back to port, or you can enjoy your day. You're here a long time in Victoria, so we walked through the Empress Hotel, which I suggest doing. And had I known we were going to be there so long, I would definitely, this is what I would recommend, is setting up a tea at the Empress Hotel. So book that in advance, and have lunch at the Empress Hotel. It is stunning. There's flowers everywhere. It's beautiful, as you can see. And then we walked, and Parliament is there, so we got to see that. And then we walked back to Fisherman's Wharf, and we ate at this little place right here. I'll put it here because, you know, I love seeing the houses. It reminds me of Sausalito near San Francisco, where that, you know, houseboats, you know, these people live on a house, and it's really cool. And we had the best fish and chips, and I had halibut, fresh halibut fish and chips, glass of wine, sitting out. It was beautiful. And then slowly we just strolled back. So we did a lot of walking that day, and I would suggest doing that. So that's one thing I wish we would have done the Empress Hotel, but the BC Bites and Tours is a nice way to kind of see a little bit of everything and then do your own thing, which is great. I wish, had we known that, I'd have booked reservations at the Empress Hotel. So do that, book reservations at the Empress Hotel. The excursions early. I know I'm working on Matthew and I's Caribbean cruise, and we're going to 4 ports, and I've already booked Turks and Caicos, because it's a catamaran, and you know, catamarans only hold so many people, and I really want to do that one, and so I already booked that one. And then be prepared. See, I wasn't prepared. Be prepared if A doesn't work, what is B? You know, and that's the JUNEAU really crushed me, and I wish I would have had a backup plan, because the whale watching, no. Now, if you're not from the United States and you're not planning on visiting New England, you should. We have so many wonderful things. Then, you know, yeah, sure, okay, maybe. But, you know, find a really good one. We were stuck because that was the only thing left. All right, you guys, well, that's it. That's my take on the excursions that we did in Alaska, the ones I would recommend and the ones I would stay away from. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, take a minute, hit that thumbs up. And also, if you want to know what I wore on the Alaskan cruise, that video is up. Want to know what the Cunard Queen Elizabeth is like? That video is up as well, because that is the cruise line that we took. All right, you guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, take a minute, hit that thumbs up. As always, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye, guys.